The rain was falling hard over the remote human colony of Arkan Ridge. Lightning flashed across the dark sky, and thunder rolled like a warning from the heavens. Inside a small farmhouse at the edge of the settlement, Nathan Cole stood near the window, watching the storm. He was a simple man, a mechanic who fixed broken machines for the colony. His wife, Alira Cole, was behind him, placing wood logs into the small heater to keep the house warm. The power had been unstable all evening. Something about this storm felt wrong. Not natural. Not normal. Outside, the wind screamed through the empty fields. Then it happened. A sound. A knock on the door. Nathan turned slowly. Alira stopped moving. Another knock came. Louder this time. 3 sharp hits. Nathan walked toward the door carefully. His hand moved near the small emergency tool hanging on the wall. On a colony like this, strangers at night were never good news. He opened the door. Cold wind rushed inside. And there she was, a small alien girl standing in the rain. She looked no older than a human child of 10. Her skin was pale silver, glowing slightly under the lightning. Her eyes were deep violet, full of fear. Her clothes were torn, burned at the edges. And in her small trembling hands, she held a strange device that blinked with weak blue light. For a moment, no one spoke. The storm filled the silence. Then the girl whispered softly, "Please, don't let them find me." Her voice was shaking. Alira stepped forward immediately. "Who are you?" she asked gently. The girl looked down, as if even speaking her name was dangerous. After a pause, she answered, "My name is Kalira." Nathan looked around outside. The fields were empty, but something in the sky caught his attention. A faint glow above the clouds. It was not lightning. It was something else. Something large. The girl noticed his stare and quickly grabbed his arm. "Please," she said again. "Faster now. They are coming." Without asking more questions, Alira pulled the girl inside. Nathan closed the door quickly. The warmth of the house did not calm anyone. Kalira was shaking badly. Her small hands refused to let go of the glowing device. Alira brought a blanket and wrapped it around her shoulders. "It's okay now," Alira said softly. "You are safe here." But Kalira shook her head. "No, no one is safe." Nathan frowned. "What are you running from?" he asked. Kalira hesitated. Then suddenly, the lights in the house flickered. Once, twice, and then went dim. Outside, the storm stopped for 1 second. Complete silence. Then a deep sound came from the sky. A heavy, mechanical hum. Nathan rushed to the window. What he saw made his blood freeze. Above the clouds, something massive was moving. A ship. No. Not a ship. A war vessel. Huge, dark, and silent. It did not flash like human ships. It did not announce itself. It simply waited, like a hunter watching its prey. Alira stepped beside Nathan. Her face turned pale. Kalira slowly walked behind them. Her voice came out like a broken whisper. "They found me." At that exact moment, every communication device in the colony turned on by itself. Screens flickered across the entire settlement, and a single alert message appeared everywhere. "Galactic Authority Emergency Broadcast." Nathan's heart started beating faster. The message continued. "A high-value entity has entered unauthorized human space. Subject status: extremely dangerous." Then a picture appeared on every screen. It was Kalira, the small girl standing in Nathan's house. The same frightened eyes, the same trembling hands. And beneath her image, a single line appeared. "All units are ordered to retrieve the subject immediately." Silence filled the farmhouse. Kalira stepped back slowly. Her eyes filled with fear. Nathan looked at her, then at the sky again. The massive warship above the clouds slowly began to descend. And then, in a calm but terrifying voice, the colony-wide speakers activated. "We know she is there." The night over Arkin Ridge had changed. The storm was gone now, but the silence that replaced it was worse. It felt heavy, like the air itself was waiting. Inside the farmhouse, Nathan Cole stood still, staring at the glowing warship above the clouds. It was no longer hiding. Slowly, more lights appeared in the sky. Not one ship, not two, dozens, then hundreds. Alira moved closer to Kalira and placed herself between the child and the window, as if her body could block the entire galaxy. Kalira was trembling again. Her small fingers were pressed tightly around the glowing blue device. It pulsed faster now, like it was reacting to the ships above. Nathan turned away from the window. "We need answers," he said quietly. But before anyone could respond, every screen in the house turned on by itself. The walls lit up with static. Then a face appeared. A cold alien officer with sharp metallic features and glowing red eyes. His voice came through every speaker in the house and across the entire colony. "Attention, human settlement Arkin Ridge." Alira pulled Kalira closer. Nathan stepped forward slightly. The alien officer continued. "A classified subject has been located in your territory." He paused, then added, "Designation, Kalira 9. Kalira flinched at her own name. The officer's eyes narrowed. "This entity is not a child. She is property of the Galactic Dominion." Nathan's jaw tightened. Alira whispered, "Property?" The officer continued without emotion. "She is the most valuable biological asset in known space. Reward for return, planetary protection, resources, and full political immunity." A pause. Then the screen flickered. A new image appeared. Kalira's face again. But this time, it was surrounded by warning symbols, and beneath it, a number flashed. It was not money. It was something far beyond it. Nathan could not even understand the scale. Alira stepped back in shock. "What is she?" she whispered. Kalira lowered her head. "I told you," she said softly. "They will come for me." Outside, the sky ships moved closer. Their shadows passed over the colony like giant black waves. Then the officer's voice changed slightly. It became colder, more direct. "Human residents of Arkin Ridge," he said. "You are now in possession of illegal galactic property. You have 10 minutes to surrender the subject. Failure to comply will result in immediate sterilization of your settlement." Silence hit the room like a physical force. Nathan's hands clenched. Alira's breath shook. Kalira's eyes filled with fear. "I don't want you to get hurt because of me," she whispered. Nathan looked at her. For a moment, something changed in his expression. Not fear, not confusion, something stronger. He knelt down in front of her. "Listen to me," he said softly. "No one here is property." Kalira looked up at him, confused. Nathan continued, "You are not a thing. You are not theirs. You are here. And you are safe." Alira placed her hand on Kalira's shoulder. "You are part of this home now," she said. Kalira's eyes widened slightly, as if she had never heard such words before. But outside, the ships responded. A deep mechanical sound echoed through the sky. Then the colony's main alarm system activated on its own. Red lights flashed across every building, and a new message replaced everything. Time expired. The warships above opened slowly, not weapons yet, but something worse. Scanning beams swept across the colony, every house, every street, every human life. Nathan stood up quickly. "They are mapping us," he said. Alira pulled Kalira back. But Kalira suddenly gasped. The glowing device in her hands exploded with blue light. A wave of energy spread out for a split second. Every screen in the colony froze. Even the warships above paused their movement. For the first time, the alien officer's face showed something unusual, a flicker of shock. Kalira stared at the device, frightened by what she had done. "I didn't mean to," she whispered. Nathan looked at her carefully. "What did you just do?" he asked. Kalira stepped back. Her voice barely came out. "I think they know where I am now." And above them, the largest warship began to open its core doors. Something massive was waking up in the sky. The sky over Arkan Ridge had turned into a warning. Massive warships now filled the horizon, blocking the stars completely. The colony no longer felt like a small human settlement. It felt like a cage surrounded by the galaxy itself. Inside the farmhouse, Nathan Cole stood near the broken window frame, watching the movement above. Elira stayed close to Kalira, refusing to let go of her hand. Kalira looked even more exhausted now. The strange blue device in her grip had stopped glowing, but it felt heavier somehow, like it had changed after being activated. No one spoke for a long time. Then Nathan finally broke the silence. "We are not giving her up," he said firmly. Elira looked at him. "Even if they destroy everything?" she asked quietly. Nathan did not answer immediately. His eyes stayed on Kalira. "She is a child," he said at last. "That is enough." Kalira's fingers tightened slightly around Elira's hand. For the first time, she did not look away. But outside, the galaxy was not waiting. A deep transmission pulse hit the entire colony again. Every device turned on. Every screen flickered. This time, the image was different. Not a single officer. Not a warning. But a symbol. A black spiral surrounded by shifting light. And then a new voice spoke. It was not the same as before. It was older, slower, more powerful. "Human settlement Arkan Ridge." The voice echoed through every wall. "You are interfering with a classified containment event." Nathan stepped closer to the screen. "What containment?" he said out loud. The voice continued. "The entity known as Kalira 9 is not a refugee. She is not a lost child. She is a sealed breach." Elira frowned. "A breach?" she repeated. Kalira suddenly stepped back. Her breathing became faster. "No," she whispered. "They are lying." Nathan turned toward her. "What do they mean?" he asked gently. Kalira shook her head. "I don't know everything," she said. "But I know one thing." Her eyes filled with fear again. "If they open the seal completely, worlds will collapse." A heavy silence followed her words. Even Nathan felt it. The weight of something far bigger than ships or armies or war. Outside, one of the warships began charging a beam. A deep red glow formed under its hull. Elira instinctively pulled Kalira behind her. But before anything could happen, another signal appeared. This one was different. It was not coming from the ships. It was coming from Kalira's device. The blue object started reacting again, slowly, weakly, like it was responding to something only it could hear. Nathan noticed it immediately. "Why is it activating again?" he asked. Kalira looked down at it. "I don't control it," she said softly. "It responds to proximity." Elira frowned. "Proximity to what?" Kalira did not answer. Because at that exact moment, every warship above the colony suddenly stopped moving, completely. Even the charging weapon froze mid-process. Then, across every screen, the alien voice changed tone. For the first time, it sounded uncertain. "No, that signal is impossible." Nathan's eyes narrowed. "What signal?" he said. Kalira stepped forward slightly. The blue device now projected something into the air. A faint holographic wave expanded from it. It spread through the entire farmhouse, then beyond it. Across the colony, up into the sky. The warships reacted instantly. Alarm signals flashed across them. One of them even shifted backward slightly. Elira whispered, "What is she doing?" Kalira's voice shook. "I think I'm not doing it." Nathan stared at the hologram forming above them. Shapes were appearing inside it. Ancient symbols, star maps, and something that looked like a locked gate made of light. Then the voice from the ships returned, but now it was urgent. "Containment breach signal detected. Impossible origin point identified." And then the line that changed everything. Origin, human protected zone. Silence hit the colony again. Nathan slowly looked at Kalira. "You're saying," he started. But Kalira interrupted him. "No," she said quickly. "I'm saying. Something inside me is calling them." Her eyes widened in fear. "And I don't think it wants to stay hidden anymore." Above them, the largest warship opened fully, and something inside it began to move toward the surface. The moment the largest warship began to open, the entire sky over Arkan Ridge changed. It was no longer just night. It looked like the universe itself was breaking apart. Dark metal structures unfolded from the massive ship above the clouds, revealing layers of hidden engines, glowing cores, and rotating rings that seemed too large to be real. The colony below went silent. Even the wind stopped for a moment. Inside the farmhouse, Nathan Cole stood frozen near the shattered window. Elira held Kalira tightly now, almost like she was afraid the girl might vanish or be taken by force. Kalira was staring upward. Her violet eyes reflected the massive fleet like mirrors. But her expression was not just fear anymore, it was confusion. And something deeper, recognition. Nathan noticed it immediately. "You've seen them before," he said carefully. Kalira did not answer right away. Her voice came out soft. "I don't remember fully, but my body does." A low vibration passed through the ground. The colony lights flickered again. Then every screen in Arkan Ridge activated at once. This time, there was no officer, no warning, only a single symbol. A rotating black star surrounded by fractured light. And then the voice returned. But now it was no longer speaking to the colony. It was speaking to Kalira. Subject Kalira 9. "You are outside containment parameters." Alira stepped forward slightly. "Stop talking to her like that," she said firmly. The voice ignored her. "Core memory suppression is failing. External environment has triggered awakening sequence." Nathan looked at Kalira. "Awakening?" he repeated. Kalira backed away a step. "I don't know what that means," she said quickly. "But I feel pressure in my mind." The blue device in her hand started glowing again, faster than before. The light was no longer stable. It was pulsing like a heartbeat. Then suddenly, the sky reacted. The massive warship above the colony opened a direct beam downward, not a weapon, a scanning column of white light. It hit the ground somewhere far outside the settlement. A deep shockwave followed. Alira grabbed Kalira tighter. "They are testing something," Nathan said. Kalira shook her head. "No, they are confirming me." Her voice broke slightly. "I think I am a key." The moment she said that, the device in her hands projected something new. A map, but not of space. It was a structure. A giant locked system made of layered dimensions, floating across unknown space. And inside it, something was sealed. Something huge. Nathan stared at it. "What is that?" he asked. Kalira whispered, "I think it's me." Before anyone could react, the colony alarms went off again. But this time, they were overridden instantly. A direct transmission forced every speaker open. The same ancient voice returned. Containment key identified. Full recovery protocol activated. Alira's face turned pale. "Recovery?" she said. "They are talking about her like she is an object." Kalira stepped backward again. Her breathing became uneven. "I don't want to go with them," she said softly. Nathan moved closer to her. "You're not going anywhere," he said firmly. But outside, the situation escalated. The Sky Fleet shifted positions. Every ship aligned perfectly. And then, from the largest vessel, something emerged. A structure, long, thin, made of shifting black energy and metal combined. It extended downward like a spine reaching for the planet. Nathan's eyes widened. "That's not a ship." Alira whispered, "Then what is it?" Kalira answered before anyone else could. "A retrieval spine." The structure stopped just above the colony atmosphere. Then it activated. A pulse spread across the entire sky. Every electronic device on the ground shut down instantly, except Kalira's device. It reacted violently. The blue light expanded, forming a shield around her. Nathan stepped back in shock. "It's protecting her?" he said. Kalira looked just as surprised. "I didn't do it," she said again. But this time, her voice was different, almost distant. As if something inside her was waking up slowly, the alien voice spoke one final time. "Final notice. Return the key, or the containment seal will be forcibly broken." A deep mechanical sound echoed across the sky. The retrieval spine began to descend. And for the first time, Kalira spoke a sentence that made both Nathan and Alira freeze completely. "If they break the seal, I won't be me anymore." The night over Arkan Ridge had become something no human had ever seen before. The sky was no longer dark. It was alive with machines. The massive retrieval spine hung above the colony like a giant blade made of light and metal, slowly moving downward as if the planet itself was being measured for extraction. Inside the farmhouse, everything felt tighter, heavier. Even breathing felt difficult. Nathan Cole stood close to Kalira, while Alira kept one arm around her like a shield that could stop the universe. But Kalira was not looking at them anymore. Her eyes were locked on the blue device in her hands. It was changing again. This time, the light was not random. It was forming patterns. Slow, structured, almost intelligent patterns. Like something inside it was finally awake. Kalira whispered softly, "It's opening." Nathan stepped closer. "What is opening?" he asked. Kalira did not answer immediately. Her fingers shook as the device projected another layer of the hologram. But this time, it was not just a map. It was a memory, a scene, a place that did not look like any human world. A massive structure floated in space, built around a broken star. And inside that structure, something enormous was sealed. Not a weapon, not a machine, a presence. Alira stepped back slightly. "This is not technology," she whispered. Kalira's voice was faint. "It's me," Nathan frowned. "You keep saying that," he said carefully. Kalira looked up at him for the first time. And what he saw in her eyes made him go silent. There was fear there, but also truth. "I was not born," she said slowly. "I was created." The room became completely still. Even the sounds from outside felt distant now. Kalira continued, "I was made inside the core Dominion vault, to hold something that cannot exist freely." Nathan's mind struggled to understand. "Something inside you?" he asked. Kalira nodded slightly. "Yes." The hologram shifted again. The image of the sealed structure became clearer. Inside it, something huge moved, but it was not fully visible. Only shadows, massive shadows. Alira whispered, "What is it?" Kalira answered softly, "A collapse entity. A force that erases systems. Stars, memory itself." Nathan felt a chill. "And you are holding it?" he asked. Kalira lowered her head. "I was built as a lock. If the lock breaks..." She stopped speaking. Her hands trembled harder. Outside, the retrieval spine moved again, closer. Now the sky above the farmhouse was glowing red and white. The colony's power grid was completely gone. Only Kalira's device still worked. Nathan looked toward the window. "We need to get you away from here," he said. But Kalira shook her head. "No. If I move, it will fully lock onto me." Alira tightened her grip. "Then stay," she said immediately. "We will protect you." Kalira looked at her. And for a moment, she looked like a normal child again. Lost, confused, scared. "I don't want to hurt anyone," she whispered. Nathan knelt down slightly so he was at her level. "You are not hurting anyone," he said firmly. "But the galaxy outside thinks you are something else." Kalira looked at him. "That's because they know what I carry." A deep mechanical sound echoed above them. The retrieval spine had now fully aligned with the colony. A beam of scanning energy passed over the farmhouse. Everything inside the house flickered. Kalira's device reacted instantly. A blue pulse expanded outward again, stronger this time. It formed a barrier around the house. The scan stopped immediately. Every ship above shifted position. Nathan stared in shock. "It blocked them," he said. Kalira looked just as surprised. "I didn't control it," she said again. But then something changed. Her expression went distant, like she was hearing something no one else could hear. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "It's not just inside me. It's remembering." Alira stepped closer. "What is remembering?" Kalira slowly raised her eyes. And what she said next made both Nathan and Alira freeze completely. "The thing inside me is not asleep anymore." Outside, the largest ship opened a final channel, and a new voice spoke. Not cold, not mechanical, but ancient, powerful, and very clear. "Core vessel confirmed active. Prepare for full extraction." Then a pause. And the final line. "Subject Kalira is no longer a child. She is the gate." And at that exact moment, the blue light around the farmhouse cracked slightly. The crack in the blue barrier was small, but in space above Arkan Ridge, it was enough to make the entire fleet react. Every warship shifted at once. Every weapon system reactivated. And the retrieval spine, hanging over the colony like a cosmic needle, began to glow brighter, as if it had been waiting for that exact moment. Inside the farmhouse, the atmosphere changed immediately. The air felt sharp, pressurized, like the world itself was holding its breath. Nathan Cole stood between Kalira and the shattered window, his body tense but unmoving. Alira held Kalira close, refusing to step away even when the light outside turned harsh and unnatural. Kalira's breathing was uneven now. The blue device in her hands was no longer stable. It was flickering between calm and violent energy, like something inside it was arguing with itself. Nathan looked at her carefully. "We are still here," he said firmly. "No matter what they call you." Kalira shook her head slightly. "They don't care about that," she whispered. "They only care about the seal." Before anyone could respond, every remaining screen in Arkan Ridge suddenly turned back on. But this time, it was not the alien Dominion speaking. It was Earth. The broadcast was unstable, filled with static. But the human emblem was clear. A voice came through, calm but heavy with urgency. "Colonial Settlement, Arkan Ridge. This is the Earth Defense Command." Alira looked at Nathan in shock. "They are watching us?" she whispered. Nathan didn't answer. The voice continued. "We have confirmed a Class Omega retrieval event in your airspace." A pause, then a second voice interrupted from the same channel. Older, stronger. "This is not a negotiation anymore." Nathan stepped closer to the screen. Kalira stayed completely still. The Earth voice continued. "We are activating planetary protection protocols. Civilian directive follows. Do not surrender the subject under any circumstances." Alira blinked. "What?" she said softly. The broadcast continued. "The entity in your custody is now under Earth protection status." Nathan's eyes widened slightly. Kalira turned her head slowly. "Protection?" she repeated. The screen flickered again. A different Earth official appeared, this time wearing a military uniform. His expression was serious. "No alien authority has jurisdiction over human sovereign ground. If they want her—" He paused. "Then they go through us." Outside, the alien fleet reacted instantly. Every ship rotated, weapons primed. The sky turned darker as if anger itself had entered orbit. The alien command voice returned, louder now. "Human interference detected. You are protecting a containment breach." Alira stepped forward slightly, her voice shaking but firm. "She is a child," she said. The alien voice responded immediately. "No. She is a dimensional key." A deep silence followed. Kalira lowered her head. Nathan turned slightly toward her. "Do you hear them?" he asked softly. Kalira nodded. "They are both wrong," she said quietly. I am not just a key, her voice broke. I am the thing the key holds back. A deep pulse spread across the sky again. The retrieval spine began to descend further, closer now. So close that its shadow covered the entire colony. The Earth Command voice returned. We are deploying atmospheric defense shields. Then another voice joined in. Different tone, different origin. This is not enough, it said. Nathan looked up. What now? He whispered. Kalira suddenly stepped forward. Alira, Nathan, she said softly. If I stay here any longer, she hesitated. I will stop being able to hold it back. Alira grabbed her arm. No, she said quickly. We just got Earth involved. We are not giving you up. Kalira looked at her. And for a moment, her eyes softened. I don't want to leave you, she whispered. But outside, reality itself seemed to respond. The blue barrier around the farmhouse cracked again. This time deeper, a sharp sound echoed through the sky. Like glass breaking across space. Every ship stopped for a fraction of a second. Then the alien command spoke again. Final extraction phase initiated. And suddenly, a massive beam of dark energy locked directly onto Kalira. The farmhouse shook violently. Nathan grabbed the table for balance. Alira pulled Kalira back instinctively. But Kalira did not move. Her eyes widened. Because something inside her responded. The blue device exploded into full brightness. A shockwave of light erupted outward, pushing the dark beam back for a moment. The entire sky flickered. Both fleets, human and alien, paused. Even Earth Command went silent. Kalira stood in the center of the light, trembling, not speaking. Then she whispered something that changed everything. I can't hold it much longer. And for the first time, Nathan realized the truth. They were not protecting her from the galaxy. They were protecting the galaxy from her. The sky over Arkan Ridge was no longer a sky. It was a battlefield of light, shadow, and collapsing physics. Two fleets hovered in perfect opposition. One from the Galactic Dominion, cold and massive like a machine that had never known mercy. The other from Earth, smaller, tighter, but alive with determination. Between them stood one farmhouse. And inside it, a single child who should not exist. Kalira stood in the center of the room, the blue device now fully awake. It floated slightly above her hands, spinning slowly, like it was deciding what reality should become next. Nathan Cole stood close to her, his body tense but steady. Alira stayed just behind Kalira, refusing to let go even when the walls shook. Outside, the retrieval spine had fully locked onto their location. Its energy beam pressed downward like a god trying to erase a planet. But it was not working. Not yet. Kalira's voice was weak. It's too strong now. Her eyes were trembling, not just with fear, but with strain. Both sides are pulling at it. Nathan looked at her. What do we do? He asked. Kalira did not answer immediately. Instead, she looked at Alira, then at Nathan. And something in her expression changed, softened, like she had finally made a decision she had been avoiding for a long time. I don't want to be a weapon, she said quietly. Silence filled the room. Even the distant rumble of war seemed to fade for a moment. Alira stepped closer. You are not a weapon, she said firmly. Kalira shook her head. But that is what I am made for. Nathan stepped forward. No, he said. You are what you choose to be here. Kalira's eyes filled with light reflections from the device. It doesn't work like that, she whispered. The thing inside me. It doesn't care about choices. Outside, the sky cracked again. A massive surge of energy hit the planet's upper atmosphere. The Dominion fleet began preparing final extraction. Earth's ships responded by locking full defensive formation. Both sides were ready to tear the world apart. Nathan looked up at the sky, then back at Kalira. And something inside him hardened. He spoke clearly. Then we stopped thinking like the galaxy. Alira looked at him. What do you mean? She asked. Nathan knelt slightly so Kaelira could see him directly. "If everyone out there sees you as a gate," he said slowly, "then they are looking at the wrong thing." Kaelira blinked. Nathan continued, "We don't care what you were made for. We care who you are here." Kaelira's breath shook. The device in her hands flickered. The light responded to her emotions now. Elira placed her hand over Kaelira's shoulder. "You came to our door," she said softly. "Not to the galaxy." Kaelira's lips trembled. For the first time, she looked like she might cry. Outside, the alien voice returned one final time. Final extraction commencing. The retrieval spine began to descend fully. A wave of destructive light expanded outward. Earthships activated planetary shields. The Dominion fleet fired containment beams. And in the middle of it all, Kaelira screamed. Not in pain, but in overload. The blue device exploded into full brightness, and the entire farmhouse lifted slightly off the ground as reality around it bent. Nathan grabbed Elira and Kaelira instinctively, but then something unexpected happened. Kaelira stopped screaming. Her eyes went completely still. And the energy paused. Every weapon in the sky froze mid-action. Both fleets halted instantly. Even the retrieval spine stopped moving. A silence fell over the entire system. Kaelira whispered, almost not her own voice anymore, "I can't hold both sides anymore." Then she looked at Nathan, at Elira, and something broke inside her expression. Not fear, not pain, acceptance. "I don't want to be alone in this anymore." Nathan tightened his grip slightly. "You are not alone," he said. Elira nodded. "We are here." Kaelira closed her eyes. And for the first time, she made a choice that was not forced by the galaxy. The blue device shattered into light. But instead of destruction, it expanded into a glowing sphere around all three of them. Nathan, Elira, and Kaelira stood inside it together, protected, connected. The sky outside trembled. The Dominion fleet fired one final command. Earth prepared its last defense. But Kaelira spoke one sentence that echoed across every ship, every screen, every system in orbit. "No more." And the light expanded outward. Not as a weapon, but as a boundary, a declaration. The fleet stopped completely, because for the first time in galactic history, the gate did not open, it closed. When the light faded, the warships were gone. Not destroyed, not fired upon, just pushed away, far away, into silence. Kaelira collapsed softly into Elira's arms. Nathan knelt beside her. The sky above Arkan Ridge slowly returned to normal night. No fleets, no beams, no war, just stars. Kaelira looked up weakly and whispered, "I think I chose wrong for them." Nathan shook his head. "You chose right for us." Elira held her gently. And for the first time, Kaelira believed she was not a key, but a child who had finally found a home.